This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is now available on Amazon. A link to the book will be placed in the description below. Welcome to History in the Eyes of a Southerner with your host, Anthony Allen. On this channel, we will take a journey through time and relate history to the contemporary eyes of modern America. I hope you enjoy the ride as I investigate and document the wonderful events that have shaped our present world. All right, y'all, so I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to get personal. Throw my business right out on Front Street. I haven't told many people lately. When I say lately, I mean in the last 20 or so years. Only people who know me real well know the truth about my origin. And I wouldn't even say the truth about my origin. I would say my paternal origin. I'm doing this video and I'm wearing this shirt. Okay? This shirt is the man that raised me. If anybody asked who my dad was, that was him. And his birthday's coming up here in a couple of weeks. If he was alive, he would have been 79 years old. He died back in August. But the purpose that I'm making this video is I'm a pretty tough old bastard. I've done jobs, been in dangerous situations. I don't back down from anybody. I never have. Never back down from a fight, never back down from a challenge. No matter how trivial. Unless it's just suicidal. And even then, that's questionable. That being said, there was one thing that I've had the option to do for years and never did. And that's try to find my biological father. Now, I've been looking here and there. Not too serious, but it's always that burning in the back of my mind. Like I said, Dale was a good man. That was my dad. He raised me up to be the man that I am today. And I'll always love him like my dad. Always. but there's always been something missing. And that's my biological dad, the man that gave me that gave me life. I never knew who he was. Never met him. So I went on Ancestry, and I've been on Ancestry for probably 15 years. I've been working on my tree. Traced my mom's side back pretty far. I mean, got them all the way back to the time of the Vikings, but I never had any information on my dad. Now, Ancestry, this is not an endorsement, and Ancestry didn't pay me to do this, and I'm not saying this is going to work for you. I hope it does if you find yourself in the same boat that I was in. But been toying with the idea for I don't know how long Ancestry DNA's been out, probably close to 10 years now. And I've had the money, just never did it. Well, about 2 months ago, I went ahead and bit the bullet and I bought the DNA kit. Fishing. Wanted to see what I could reel in. Well, it hit. I'm going to enclose a screenshot on this. It hit. And it hit big. And bold and large and in charge. Turns out there were a lot of people who took their DNA tests that I am related to. And I've never heard of them, never heard their family names. A lot of wares popped up. Um, Oksenholts popped up. I'm like, who the hell are these people? Had no clue. So I was looking on there. I saw this girl. Looked like she was pretty active on here, on Ancestry. I sent her a message. It popped up. She was my second cousin, who I've never met. Name is Angela. I messaged her Friday night, and we messaged back and forth all weekend. And yesterday was Sunday. We sat down and figured it out. The closest DNA match turns out is an aunt of mine. And I think she's here in Mississippi. I have not gotten in touch with her yet. I've reached out to her on Facebook, but it doesn't look like she's active there. And I've reached out to her on Ancestry, but she hadn't been very active there. But I reached out nonetheless. Angela has also reached out to her mother. And we did the math on this, and we figured out that this woman had one brother. Well, if that's my aunt, and she only had one brother, 1 + 1 is 2. So I found out that my dad's name is Lorenz Willig Oksenholt. Unfortunately, I found out another thing. I found out that he died in 1992. Now, my theory is he probably didn't know that I existed. He was young when he died. He was 39 years old. So he's right around my age now. And my mom was not very helpful with any information. Is what it is, I guess. But now I know. He's buried not too far from here. It's in the Biloxi City Cemetery. I'm going to try to find his grave and maybe go put some fresh flowers on it or something. I don't know. But when I sent this message to Angela, I didn't know what I was going to find. Now, obviously, when you do a DNA test on Ancestry, you can see your matches and they can see if you match them. So there was no question that me and Angela were related. Never met. She lives out in California. I ain't been to California. I ain't been to California in a little over a year. About a year and a half the last time I've been to California. So I haven't been anywhere near her since this. Like I said, this all transpired 3 days ago. It started. But before I realized that the man was deceased, it made me wonder and contemplate the possibility, what if he's still alive? I mean, I don't know how he died. I don't know anything about him. Could be anything from natural causes to a car wreck. I have no idea. But it opened my eyes to a lot. Assuming the man was alive, I don't know what I would have said to him. I certainly would not have blamed him because I honestly don't think he ever knew I existed. The man lived in the same town as I did, lived in Biloxi, where I grew up, where I was born, where I was raised. But that doesn't mean that I knew him. Biloxi's a decent sized town in the 90s. We're talking, I think the 1990 population of Biloxi, and I'm just going to pull 1990, was like 46,000 people. So, mm, maybe not that good a chance we'd have met. I don't know. I don't think I ever did. But this woman, Angela, my cousin, accepted my message. Sorry, y'all, I'm in a bit of pain here. Been a long day at work. But she accepted my message and welcomed me with open arms. Hadn't reached out to the rest of the family too good yet. The family is scattered from Mississippi to Louisiana, Texas, New York, and California that I've seen, that I know of. But I think I'd like to meet them. Hang out with them. I certainly hold no ill feelings toward any of them. Again, they didn't know I existed. This is the reality. And maybe again, y'all, if this ever happens to y'all, maybe y'all will find yourself in a similar situation. I now know a member of my family, and I hope to learn and meet many more of them that I never knew. And my cousin Angela, like I said, she seemed like one of the nicest people you ever wanted to meet. I'm sorry it took me so long to actually do this. I don't travel much anymore. I mainly stay on the coast now. I mean, obviously, I've got no problem traveling. I've done it for years. But I really want to know if anybody else has had a similar experience. And again, I can't look at the man. I can't meet the man. I don't know what he looks like. I haven't seen any pictures yet. I'd love to. I'd love to know what he was about. I'd love to know a lot about him. And hopefully, I'll have some of those questions answered. And they're not questions, they're not the same questions I would have had, let's just say, if I would have ran into him at 16 or 17, as in, where have you been? Whatever. These are questions of, what was he like? If I find out what made him tick, maybe I can get a better understanding of what makes me tick. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm a lot different from the rest of my family. I'm a lot different. I do things that nobody in my family, the ones I was raised up around, does. I have done things and gone places and been around people that none of them have even thought about doing. Makes me wonder if that came from his side. I enjoy things that my family on this side that I grew up with care nothing about. I have passions that people on this side care nothing about as well. Again, I have not met these people yet. I've never met them, but I think it'd be pretty cool. And I hope I do get to meet them. I hope maybe my phone will ring one day and, they'll say, hey, we're in Mississippi. Where you at? I know they go to Texas a lot. I'm not that far from Texas. I could drive over. I could be just about anywhere in any part of Texas in about a day from where I'm at. Anywhere from about 8 hours to a day. I know some of them are up in New York. I try not to travel that far north, but hey, I like Boston. I swing through on my way up there one day. I want to know what makes these people tick so that I can know what makes me tick, what drives me to do things that I do. And I think I'm going to have my questions answered now thanks to that little money I spent. I think it was like $60, something like that. I think that's money well spent. And again, we put this together, me and Angela put this together relatively quickly. Don't expect this to go as quickly as mine went. Mine took a lot of brainstorming and a lot of common sense. Went through about three different names before we realized what was up. And once we realized what was up, we together put our fingers on it and said, okay, well, this has got to be it. I hope that if anybody else is doing what I did, y'all have a similar result where y'all can get these questions answered and maybe meet some good family on another side that you didn't know. There's a lot of adoptions. There's a lot of um, people having one night encounters. I'm not going to get too graphic in this. And maybe somebody else wants to know. Maybe somebody out there is looking for you if you're watching this video. Maybe you're looking for somebody. Maybe you don't know if you have a son or a daughter out there. And maybe you can put to ease the minds of some people that were just wondering. Even if you know both your parents, even if you had a happy childhood, you may be able to do what Angela did for me. And I'm going to tell you, it's like somebody, I know the man is dead, but just knowing is like somebody lifted the world off my shoulders. Because this is a question that's been bugging me for 30 years. I'm 37 now. I started asking questions when I was about 7. All the other little kids at school had their mommies and daddies. I had a mom and a grandma. Had kids ask me, and I remember this from elementary school, where's your dad? I don't know. Dale wasn't quite in the picture yet. My grandpa and my grandma adopted me when I was 2 days old. And I know y'all just went, huh? Yes. I was born September 4th, 1984 at 7:07 p.m. my adoption paperwork and my birth certificate with my grandma and grandpa's name on it was issued in Jackson, Mississippi on September 6th. My grandpa was pretty well politically connected. He knew the right judges to sign off on it. He knew the right attorneys, etc., so forth and so on. You need not look any further than exactly how Biloxi was in the 1980s to understand this. My grandpa was a bastard, but he was a pretty powerful man, and he made it happen. But that being said, he died in 1987. I always called my grandma, Grandma, called my birth mother, Mom. She was always in the picture, she was always around. I may not have been in her custody legally, but as a child, I didn't understand that. When kids at school would ask, "Where's your dad?" I would tell them I don't have a dad. Wasn't quite sure how to articulate it at the time. But I mean, now looking back, I see what I could have missed. And I'm gonna speak more on Angela. If the rest of the family's as cool as she is, I gotta meet them. I gotta meet them. Got no choice but to meet them. I would love to know that my dad, Lorenz, was alive. And then I can go over there and I can go hang out with him. That'd be pretty cool. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And I'm okay with that too. At least I know. At least I know. I may have been 8 years old when he died, but at least I know who the man is. His name, anyway. I'm sure I'll get the rest of my questions answered when I meet the rest of the family. Hopefully, I will. And I'd just like to encourage y'all, don't be afraid to reach out. You have questions and you have a right to have them answered. Again, maybe you've been looking, maybe you're in your late 30s and you've been looking 30 years too. Good chance of your parents might still be around. People are definitely living longer these days. It's a good chance. Maybe you can go meet up with your biological mother or biological father and get some questions answered, assuming, let's say, you were adopted or whatever. Hey, what was going on? Make this make sense to me. You do have a chance of being rejected. You have a chance of spending your money and finding nothing. But I think it's a chance worth taking. I want to end this video by saying thank you to Angela. Thank you to the rest of the family, especially your mother, who seemed like she was very instrumental in giving you a lot of the information to help us on our quest to find out who was who. And I also want to throw a thanks in there to Ancestry for actually having the database being what it is to make this happen. Again, they are not paid sponsors. I don't do paid sponsors. I don't do that. It costs me nothing to make these videos but a little bit of electricity and internet. But I think this video hopefully can help some people. It don't cost much. It didn't cost me much at all. For a peace of mind, I'd have paid 100 times what I paid. Again, didn't exactly get the result that I wanted, but I'm happy with the result that I got. Y'all have a good night. I got to go to work in the morning. Thank you for watching. Alright, y'all, so this is an update to the video I just made the other day about finding my biological father on Ancestry. And never thought I'd know how to feel if I found out that he was dead. And I wasn't going to be able to sit down and talk with him and get to know him, but I think I'm going to be okay now. I'm wearing the same video, the same shirt I was wearing in the other video. Just something to have the man that raised me. I wanted him to be there, so I'm wearing his shirt. Yes, I washed it. And like I said, you know, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go put some flowers on his grave today. I'll go stop at a dollar store and go get them. I wonder what he would say. I really wonder what he would say if he could meet me. It's been burning in my mind. If he could see me, would he be proud? Would he be upset? I'd like to think, hopefully I've made enough good life choices to make him proud. I've done some screwball things in my life. I'm not gonna lie. But I would hope that he would be proud of the man that I have become. I mean, I don't get too personal on these videos, but I'm gonna let it all hang out today. Again, you know, maybe maybe somebody will see this, and if they had anger as a kid and they find their father in their late 30s like I have, they'll understand that the man is, you know, he may not have known, which I honestly believe is the case with mine. He didn't know. I honestly believe that. I genuinely believe that he does not know or did not know that I existed. And I was 8 years old when he died, so he never got the opportunity to meet me. So I'm going to go to the Biloxi Cemetery today, and I'm going to go ahead and locate his grave, which I think I know about where it's at. City of Biloxi, thankfully, has a map showing where everything is. The way I understand it, from what I've read, him and his mother, my grandmother, they're both cremated and they're interred in the same crypt. He died in 92, she died in 95. I know there's a sister somewhere that I think she's in Gulfport. I'd like to meet her. Hopefully she'll be open to the idea to meet me. And again, maybe I can get some closure. Got a beautiful drive today. Looking at the beach here in Gulfport, Mississippi. Puts my mind at ease. It's kind of relaxing. It's kind of a relaxing drive. I hope that if somebody else is fortunate enough to do what I did, I hope they have the same luck that I did. Because a lot of this was luck. A combination of luck and a combination of good people in the family that I didn't know. And I hope that if somebody else is doing what I'm doing, which I'm sure there are quite a few people, I hope they are just as fortunate as I am. I'll continue this video at the cemetery. Alright, y'all. So I'm got the flowers. I'm on my way to the cemetery now. Coming down Irish Hill. And this is the neighborhood I grew up in. I'm about a mile from my house, where I grew up, where I was born and raised. I don't know what part of Biloxi my dad was living in at the time. But this is just to show you how far I was from my answers my whole life. For 30 years I lived in the same house. I graduated from that school right there, actually. That was the old Biloxi High School. Now I guess it's a junior high, maybe elementary, I don't know. I used to park my car over here along the tracks when I was in high school. That building over yonder is an auditorium. I used to go swimming in it as a kid. This street I'm fixing to turn on I used to ride my bicycle down there. I used to watch my cousin play softball at this park, Savarro Park. So this is how close my answers were my entire life. I'm doing this to show y'all this because you never know. You never know just how close your answers are. Grew up riding my bicycle all around this place, even around the cemetery. here in a long time. It used to be a house sitting there. Now, from what I understand, the map showed that he's back over here somewhere. We'll get level and I'm going to start walking and looking. Fun fact, this truck is a 5-speed and heat brake don't work, so I got to make sure I'm on level ground before I just roll somewhere. Anyway, more when I get out. Years I've been looking for this. $30 years. Rest easy, yo. God bless you. Alright, I'm going to do a video as I exit the cemetery. Took me a while to locate it. I had to figure out how to navigate the city of Biloxi's cemetery plotter website, but they're in good company here. A lot of good people buried in this place. Going out the beach side, that way I could watch the water. But I'm glad I found him. I'm not upset at all. Wish I could have met him, but you know, I'll learn the family. I'll meet the family, and that'll have to suffice. I hope y'all, if y'all are in the same situation I was in, have good luck regardless of the outcome getting those questions answered. Y'all have a good day. Thank you for watching. Okay, y'all, so today's been a weird day. It's been a good day, but it's been a weird day. Today is the day that started off like any other day. I'm sitting here at my computer. Was recording my audio book. And while I'm recording my audio book, I get a message on Ancestry from a cousin of mine that I had found. Lives in Texas. My cousin said that she had actually reached out to my aunt. And when she reached out to my aunt, I was like, okay, well, thank you. I hope she responds. Well, my aunt, a few hours later, I see that she likes my post about my book. Then she sends me a friend's request, when I could speak. And then now, after that, we got to talking. Probably spent about 30 minutes on Facebook Messenger and about an hour and a half on the phone, I'm guessing. Turns out, I have another uncle in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I've got two sisters. I've got a sister in Ohio and a sister in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I guess Papa really was a rolling stone. Learned a lot of things. Found out how he died. He had skin cancer. And that eventually got him. But I have spent the better part of the evening getting to know my two sisters, who before today never knew I existed. So this has been a good experience. Just an update. I hope if y'all had the same questions that were plaguing me for 30 years, don't hesitate to get them answered any way you can. I always kind of felt like something was missing, and now I know. Also, a side note, little background on this. My last name, comes from my grandpa. My grandpa was a bastard. No two ways about it. He was a murderer. He was an attempted murderer. He was a racist. He was a corrupt cop. A dishonor to the uniform that I put on every day when I go to work. And I really don't feel like carrying on his name anymore. So I'm changing my last name. I'll be going down to Chancery Court at some point and seeing what all I need to do. I know I have to pay a fee and perhaps go in front of the judge, which is no problem. And my last name will no longer be Allen. It will be Oksenholt. feel that's more appropriate. I'm not going to carry on the legacy of a son of a bitch like that ever. Still going to write a book about him, but that's neither here nor there. Actually, I don't even know if I'm even going to write a book about him now. Man's been dead since '87. I may just let it go. But I hope that if you're going to do this, if you're going to take the leap and start looking, I hope you find what you're looking for. Thank you for watching. Alright, y'all, so I haven't said anything in a while about this. I just want to give another update on what's going on with finding my father. I believe I've mentioned in a previous video, I found out that, you know, my father, of course, was never known to me. And I don't think I don't think he ever knew I existed. And he's been dead for 30 years. He's been buried in the old Biloxi Cemetery. But I did find out, and I think I mentioned this as well, that I have two sisters. Well, I met one of them the other night. My younger sister. She's 30 years old, lives up in Ohio. I'm actually not far from the other sister today. As you can tell by the video, obviously I am not in Mississippi. I'm just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm near where my other sister lives. Unfortunately, I cannot stop and see her today. But they have both welcomed me with open arms, and everything seems to be going very well. You know, we talk several times a day, and, you know, we're getting to know each other, catching up on, you know, almost 38 years of them not knowing I existed. And I think it's working out. I think it's going to be good. And it worked out good for me anyway. I had to come back over the road. Just to save my business, I had to get back out here and drive my truck. So being that I'm out here driving my truck, I actually have the chance to spend time with them. This weekend, I'm hoping I'm going to go pick up my younger sister in Ohio, and I'm going to bring her over here to Pennsylvania, and we're going to go hang out, all three of us. My older sister, one that lives here in Pennsylvania, she just recently got married, so I'm looking forward to meeting her new betrothed. And he seems like a good guy. I mean, they all seem like real good people. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't have the chance to have them in my life for so long. And again, if you find yourself in the same situation I was, I do encourage you, go to Ancestry and see about getting the DNA kit. I mean, it cost me $60. think it's $100. I think they're running a deal. But I mean, it's not that hard to do. And hopefully you'll have similar results as I have. Everybody that I've talked to on my dad's side of the family seems to be really cool people. I spent a lot of time talking to my dad's younger sister. She lives in Texas now. But for years, she lived on the coast. She lived in Mississippi. And it's a wonder that it took me so long to do this. I really wish that I would have done this years ago, because I think I would have had a better opportunity to get to know them instead of waiting so long. And I took a long time to do this because I didn't know how they would receive me. I didn't know if it was going to be oh, well, they think you're just some scammer, or they think that you owe them something or whatever, which is not the case. You know, they welcome me with open arms, but I do know that online there's a lot of people doing a lot of dishonest scams and stuff. So, you know, I was worried that they would see me as some kind of a scam artist or whatever. But when I showed them the proof, everything was good. And they didn't see me as that anyway, because Ancestry showed that the DNA was there, and you know, it worked out. It really did. And I'm thrilled to death to know that I have a lot of good people on my dad's side of the family. You know, I'm very glad to know that I have that. And I'm very fortunate to having met them. And again, you know, this is not something that Ancestry has paid me to do. This is not an advertisement for them. There's certainly other alternatives out there, 23andMe. There's a couple others, and I can't think of them off the top of the head, but it seems like Ancestry has the best database. So that's why I'm glad that I was able to use that. But so y'all think about it, and again, I hope that y'all have the same luck that I did, because I feel like a very fortunate man right now. Anyway, y'all take care. I'm gonna get down the road. Hope y'all enjoyed the sights of the road. I'm sure it's a little nicer than listening to me talk and watching me talk. Figured I'd give you a little bit of scenery. Y'all have a good day.